Hey everyone, Mr. Harvey here. Let's start our lecture on the scientific revolution, ladies and gentlemen. Chapter 6. Okay, here we go. So, the scientific revolution, ladies and gentlemen, is super important. It's definitely a topic that shows up on the AP exam and is really important for us, ladies and gentlemen, because this is going to be a key influential event that is going to lead to some massive improvements in medicine, in biology, and an understanding of the natural world, but also, ladies and gentlemen, the scientific revolution is going to be a key facilitator and cause to the Enlightenment, where we're going to see some massive changes socially, politically, economically, when it comes to law, and that's going to lead to the revolutions that we're going to be seeing, the French Revolution. And a lot of that root is rooted in the scientific revolution. So let's talk about it. Before we talk about the scientific revolution and some of the events, let's kind of get an understanding of what the scientific revolution was. This was a movement during the 1500s, okay, definitely building out of the Renaissance and Reformation, which we're going to talk about. And it's going to be ending in the 1700s as we see that scientific thinking that's going to be so prominent, the empiricism, the objective thought, that rationalism is going to start to be translated to other areas. And that's where we see the Enlightenment. The politics, the society, the economics. And so scientific revolution, ladies and gentlemen, was this where we see these new ideas, these new ways of thinking, these methods of science called natural philosophy. And that's what science was called during this time, natural philosophy, understanding the natural world. Um, and we're going to see the scientific revolution, ladies and gentlemen, challenge the medieval, the status quo, in terms of intellectual thought. It's going to be challenging the modes of thought that were established in medieval times, challenge many of the norms when it comes to the natural world. Now, a couple side notes and things to understand about the scientific revolution. One is it wasn't necessarily a revolution, as some of the ideas and data being examined were actually ancient, and we're going to look at that. Heliocentrism was actually an idea that Copernicus and Galileo, they're going to be getting some of these influences from some of the ancient Greeks and Romans. The idea of heliocentrism is going to be nothing new. It's just a different perspective that is outside of the norm of the geocentrism that the Catholic Church and the intellectual figures of power are going to put forth. The heliocentrism is actually, and some of the ideas that we're going to be seeing are actually ancient, which is very important for us to understand. And two, it isn't a rapid movement. It's not like, science, okay? This is a complex movement that's going to occur over many years. And as we discussed in class, we're still in a scientific revolution with technology changing every single day, scientific breakthroughs, medical research. We are still very much in a scientific revolution. And so in the scientific revolution that we're going to be really focusing on in the 1500s, 1600s and 1700s is going to be there's going to be so many figures that contribute to this movement with so many different ideas, and we're just going to be focusing on some of the main players that are going to have a tremendous impact. But there are many other characters that we're not going to really mention. But just understand that it's not this rapid thing. There's a lot of people involved, and it's a slow process, and we're still feeling kind of the effects of that today, which is cool. All right. Now, in order to understand the change, in order to really understand the radical new viewpoints that we're going to be seeing, and they are radical for this time, we need to understand the status quo, aka how was the world looked at prior to the scientific revolution? And this is the medieval view of the world. How did people perceive the world? How did people understand the world? And that is the medieval view of the world. Okay, it was primarily religious, theological, scholasticism. Those are just synonyms for religion. People looked at the world through the lens of religion. They look at a tree, they're thinking about that tree in terms of religion. Why does it change colors, or why does it have certain fruit or flowers or whatever? It's God. It's God that's doing that. Okay. Why does an apple fall from the tree? Well, it's God. Okay. Why does the grass smell this way, or why does it itch if you're sweaty or something like that and you roll around in the grass? Well, it's God. Okay. That's how they explain things. That's how they understand things. It's religiously based understanding. We're going to see a change, and that's going to be very important. Okay, important for us to remember, society, intellectual thought, largely governed by church views, traditions, practices, norms, and this is especially important for the intelligentsia. This is important for intellectual thought, ladies and gentlemen. Society, the world was viewed via the lens of religion. Very important for us, okay? People were superstitious. People, science is very much rooted in religion, and so this is that framework I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Okay, it's not like you need to write everything down on the slide. Understand that when people perceive the world, they perceived it through a lens of religion. That's what they thought at first when they were justifying and trying to understand everything. All right. And so what's really important within this medieval viewpoint, ladies and gentlemen, that I want you to really this is important for us to focus on, is that when it came to science, okay, when it came to what the scientific thought during this time, they understood that any science that was in that category of science, it aligned with religion. It aligned with the church's views. So, for example, when it came to the heavens and understanding the earths and the stars and astronomy, okay, the ideas that were accepted were Aristotle and Ptolemy's views, which I'm going to talk about. Well, why are those views going to be accepted? Well, because they aligned with what the church put forth, the church's narrative, aka what was in the Bible. The Bible preaches Earth is the center of the universe and the solar system, geocentrism. Well, those are therefore the church is going to make it acceptable that Aristotle's views and Ptolemy's views are out there, that are being taught and projected and spread. Those are going to be ideas that are accepted. Any science that's out there have to align with religion and have to align with the church. And so we'll see that. Okay, we'll see that. So for any science that's out there, it's very closely connected to religion. All right, any science is based on religion. It aligns with the Bible. It aligns with the church. Okay, so that's the medieval viewpoint. All right. Now, one of the early medieval, constructs that's going to be prominent is Aristotle's ideas. Aristotle, he's an ancient Greek philosopher, very important. Okay, a lot of his ideas are going to meld into this medieval viewpoint. Okay, he is not from medieval times. All right, and his version, excuse me, of the universe is geocentrism. Okay, where the Earth is in the center and the sun revolves around the Earth, and the different planets and the different celestial bodies, the stars, they all revolve around Earth. The key is understanding that Earth is the center. It's geocentrism. And why was this ideology? Why was this put forward? Why was this allowed to spread during medieval times? It was because it aligned with what the church was saying. Right? The church, it's in the Bible. Earth is in the center of the solar system. Aristotle said that, so it was acceptable for the church that Aristotle's ideas became the norm. All right. So Aristotle's view dominated scientific thinking. Okay, and this is geocentrism, the idea of a motionless Earth at the center of the universe. He believed that there were 10 separate spheres that moved around the Earth. His ideas had been accepted for thousands of years, but this is important for us to understand, ladies and gentlemen. It's accepted because it aligned with the church. If it did not align with the church, there's no way the church is allowing this idea to be okay in Europe. Aristotle's view dominated scientific thinking, this geocentric model of the universe, because it aligned with religion, it aligned with the church, it aligned with the Bible. So very important for us, okay? Another thinker, ladies and gentlemen, Ptolemy. Okay, Ptolemy is Greco-Roman. Okay, he's kind of the in-between of Aristotle and Copernicus, who we're going to be talking about. One of the last great ancient astronomers. He's Greco-Roman. And he lived in Egypt during the 2nd century. And his achievement, ladies and gentlemen, is he builds upon Aristotle's views with the Earth at the center of the universe. But what he was trying to explain, ladies and gentlemen, was the motion of the planets. And Ptolemy was noticing that he would look at a planet like Mars or Venus. He would look at an object in the sky, and then at different times, during the week or at different if Earth is motionless, and doesn't move, then why would something in the sky, it appears, in a certain place one night, moves, to a different place the other night? Why is that if the Earth isn't moving? And he was trying to account. He's going to try to account for that through these circular cycles called epicycles and deferent cycles, and we'll take a look at that. Oop, I spelled cycles wrong. Oops. But that was a way Ptolemy was trying to explain why objects in the sky moved without, accounting that Earth moves. So he was trying to explain it without Earth moving, which, is not really going to work really well because Earth not only rotates, every 24 hours, but Earth also has an orbit. Earth is also moving around the sun, and he didn't know that. He didn't understand that. And so his way of trying to account for that was through these little epicycles and deference cycles, which we'll talk about in a video in class. But Ptolemy, again, this is going to be accepted by the church because he believes in geocentrism, that Earth is motionless. Okay, and he's kind of the in between of Aristotle and Copernicus. All right, and there's Ptolemy right there. All right, let's talk about the causes to the scientific revolution, ladies and gentlemen. Very important for us, okay? One, obviously, we know this. We talked about this. Chapter 2, the Renaissance. This is so key to the scientific revolution, and I've been alluding to this, ladies and gentlemen. The idea of questioning accepted ideas, looking for truth, the rediscovery of the Greeks and Romans, the math that's going to be so vital to the progress of science leading up to Isaac Newton and calculus and the laws, his laws of gravitational forces, and Galileo's different laws that he's going to be coming out with. The Renaissance is huge, ladies and gentlemen. The rationalism, the reason, being critical, analyzing, looking at things yourself. Those are all those factors that we talked about the Renaissance. That is going to help facilitate the scientific revolution. People are going to be looking at the world and trying to figure it out for themselves, as opposed to having someone tell them how the world works. That idea within the Renaissance, looking for truth, understanding why. Why does that star or planet appear here at one part of the night and then over here later? Why on earth is the moon here and then over here? People are going to be looking at those things. Why does a plant, change color? Why do some plants have flowers and some don't? People are going to be interested in this, looking at this, and looking for the truth. And that foundation comes from the Renaissance, ladies and gentlemen. Super important for us. All right, looking for new ideas, new ways of thinking, being critical, being creative. All of those are powerful, powerful, powerful causes to the scientific revolution. The next one, ladies and gentlemen, the Reformation. The Reformation is a key cause of the scientific revolution, ladies and gentlemen. Questioning traditional notions of religion, aka we see with Martin Luther, questioning Catholicism is going to lead to people question just dominant viewpoints in general. Question this idea of geocentrism. Question these ideas of biology and of astronomy and botany and all these different fields. People are going to be questioning. If people are questioning traditional notions of religion, sacraments, the Pope, people are going to start questioning other dominant viewpoints. Why does the moon go over here? Why does it get cold at a certain time of the year where it's warm and really, at a certain time of the year? People are going to start questioning dominant viewpoints and looking for the truth that's very much rooted in the Renaissance. Okay? And that's important. We're going to see scientific thinkers being influenced by Martin Luther, be influenced by some of these progressive religious thinkers to question dominant viewpoints, much like Luther, Calvin, Zwingli were questioning the dominant religious viewpoint of Catholicism and presenting new ideas on religion. Well, we're going to see new ideas when it comes to scientific thought, new ideas with how the world works. All right, that is very much an influence. So the Reformation is very much an influence to the scientific revolution, ladies and gentlemen. All right, the age of exploration, ladies and gentlemen, huge to the scientific revolution. This is further going to influence Europeans to question traditional dominant notions of thought, ladies and gentlemen. Discovery of new lands, new peoples, foods, and cultures, that is going to lead people to be like, if the church knew everything, how do they not know about this? How do they not know about all of this land, all of these new plants, these animals? How do they not know about this? If the church is supposed to know everything, how come they did not know about this? And these are going to be powerful motivators to some of our scientists, to some of our thinkers to question. They're going to be questioning things. Why on earth does the ocean look like this on one day and the ocean look like this, on another day? Why on earth, Is it cold in the ocean over here, but it's warm over here? Why are there certain, animals over here, but certain animals not over here? They're going to be questioning this. They're going to be questioning this. They are questioning because of the influence of the age of exploration. If the church knew about all this stuff, okay, it's all knowing. How did it not know about this? So that idea of questioning dominant, questioning, the Catholic Church, questioning dominant notions and traditional notions of thinking. Very important for the scientific revolution, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And one of the most important causes of the scientific revolution, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be advances in technology. All right? We're going to see new devices, microscopes, telescopes, and these devices are going to be super important. We're going to see germ theory, people looking at skin, looking at a whole new world that we can't see, a microbial world, a microscopic world, a world of bacteria, of cells. It's gonna be revolutionary. Telescopes looking beyond, looking outside of Earth, looking at what is beyond Earth. Okay, and both of these inventions, ladies and gentlemen, are gonna come from the Dutch, a republic, Protestant, open to new ideas, open to being creative, open to change, open to questioning dominant notions of thinking. That this is going to be very important for us. Some of the advances in technology, and technology today, ladies and gentlemen, is still important with science. I mean, look at some of the revolutionary technology we have with cell phones, with apps. It's incredible. I mean, this technology is going to be so key to this scientific revolution during the 15, 16, 1700s, ladies and gentlemen. Very important, okay? And these devices are going to help scientists make new discoveries, and it's going to help them, come up with even more technology. I mean, this is going to be a game changer, ladies and gentlemen, for Europe and the world. Okay, with microscopes, it's going to lead to germ theory, medicine, right? New advances in understanding human diseases, sanitation. I mean, this is just going to change so much of society. Technology plays a huge part in the scientific revolution. Okay, all right, let's stop here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to start this next lecture talking about the major thinkers, and we're going to start off with Copernicus. All right, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a fantastic night.